Opening day is one of the busiest days here for street vendors, but the biggest business factor is the success of the Red Sox. 1 year after the Boston Marathon tragedy, the city is back out in full force. The atmosphere down here by the finish line is enthralling, but more importantly, everybody feels safe. Seeing the swan boats back on the lake and the influx of runners in the city can only mean one thing: springtime is right around the corner. Despite last year's tragedy, the general consensus is that the 2014 Boston Marathon will be bigger and better than ever. Today is the last day the Seattle Seahawks will be speaking to the media before Super Bowl 48. And let's just say they didn't hold anything back. Here on Super Bowl Boulevard, there are police officers on every corner, but the security here is nothing like it is at MetLife Stadium. This is a story about having someone's back. Matt Zeller is a U.S. war veteran, and Janice Shinwari was his translator. In Afghanistan, they saved each other's lives.
There was two more Taliban that they were trying to kill him. And I ran to Matt and I shot those two Taliban.
If he hadn't been there, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you right now.
This heroic act formed a brotherhood. When it was time for Matt to return to the States, he promised Janice he'd return the favor by bringing him back too. If he didn't,
he'd be dead. Hands down. The Taliban would have found him at this point and killed him.
Janice Shinwari is just one Afghan translator who made the trip back from Afghanistan to the United States, but they're not all so lucky. That's why Matt Zeller started the organization, No One Left Behind.
We created it really simple to honor our nation's promise to the Iraqi and Afghan men and women who served our nation while at war as translators.
Former soldiers feel that these translators are just as important to the cause as anyone else.
Some of these interpreters have done more for America than many Americans.
The Taliban consider translators traitors and threaten to kill them and their families in Afghanistan. But escaping the violence isn't the only advantage of moving to the United States.
I know that my children will have a bright future, and they can go to the school, they can go to the college, but in Afghanistan, you know, the situation is not good. Nobody can let their kids go out.
Matt and Janice will meet with members of Congress this week to discuss potential ways to speed up the visa process. Mike Lucas, WEBN.